Glycolysis. Glycolysis is used by all cells in the body for energy generation. Nak membentuk tenaga, nak membina tenaga. The final product for glycolysis is pyruvate in aerobic setting and lactate in anaerobic conditions. So, kemudian apa yang berlaku ialah pyruvate will enter the Krebs cycle for further energy production. Glycolysis is a cytoplasmic pathway. It has 10 steps, 5 in the preparatory phase and 5 in the payoff phase. Why we need glucose is for energy then. So in glycolysis, there'll be a breakdown of 6 carbon glucose into 2 molecules with 3 carbon, and then that 3 carbon will carry a high energy phosphate bonds and then transfer the phosphate to ADP to form ATP. Kalau kita tengok nanti, this pathway also produces NADH via dehydrogenation. Okay, let's look at the legend. H indicates hydrogen, C carbon, O oxygen, and this one is phosphate group. Kemudian kita ada inorganic phosphate, which come from phosphoric acid. And then this one is magnesium ion, is a cofactor. And then yang ni, NAD+, is a nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. And then enzyme lah, contoh yang warna merah ni semua bermaksud enzyme. Kita ada, and then kita ada adenosine triphosphate, adenosine diphosphate. Kalau nampak arrow yang ni, the red arrow, meaning that is irreversible reaction, very exergonic. And then kalau nampak yang the black one with pointed both ways tu, itu ialah reversible reaction. Here you can see the phosphorylation will add a phosphate group to a molecule derived from ATP. So we can say that the glucose ring is phosphorylated. Hasilnya apa? One molecule of ATP has been consumed. Itu satu. Yang kedua, we have now glucose 6-phosphate. 6 mean phosphate is attached to carbon number 6. The reaction occurs with the help of this enzyme, hexokinase. It's an enzyme that catalyzes the phosphorylation of many 6-membered glucose ring-like ring structures. For your information, kita ada kat sini magnesium. Atomic magnesium is also involved to help shield the negative charges from the phosphate groups on the ATP molecule. The result of this phosphorylation is a molecule, as I said earlier, glucose 6-phosphate ataupun G6P. The second reaction of glycolysis is the rearrangement of G6P into fructose 6-phosphate or F6P by this enzyme, glucose phosphate isomerase. Sometimes you can also find books or articles mentioning phosphoglucose isomerase. Sama je. The second step of glycolysis involves the conversion of G6P to F6P. Enzyme dia tadi, phosphoglucose isomerase. As this name of the enzyme suggests, we know that this reaction involves an isomerization reaction. The reaction ni buat apa? It's about the rearrangement of carbon-oxygen bond to transform the 6-membered ring tadi tu into a 5-membered ring. Bila berlaku rearrangement ni, the 6-membered ring opens and then closes in such way that the first carbon become now external to the ring. In the third step of glycolysis, fructose 6-phosphate is converted to fructose 1,6-biphosphate. Similar to the reaction that occurred in step 1 of glycolysis, a second molecule of ATP provides the phosphate group that is added onto the F6P molecule. Enzim yang terlibat kat sini is phosphofructokinase or PFK. Step yang ni sama juga macam step 1 tadi. A magnesium atoms is involved to help shield negative charges. Step 4. Aldolase enzyme will split fructose 1,6-biphosphate into 2 sugars that are isomers of each other. These 2 sugars are dihydroxyacetone phosphate or DHAP and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Aldolase will help to cleave FBP or fructose 1,6-biphosphate into 2 3-carbon molecules. Step 5, triose phosphate isomerase is an enzyme that will interconvert the molecule DHAP and G3P. Glyceraldehyde phosphate is removed. Okay, will be removed and will be used in the next steps of glycolysis. So G3P is the only molecule that continues in the glycolytic pathway. As a result, all of the DHAP molecules produced are further acted on the enzyme triose phosphate isomerase, which reorganizes the DHP into G3P, so it can continue in glycolysis. At this point in the glycolytic pathway, we have 2 3-carbon molecules, but have not yet fully converted glucose into pyruvate. Not yet, yeah? Okay, next, step 6. Kita ada glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. This enzyme dehydrogenates and adds in inorganic phosphate to glycerol 3-phosphate, thus producing 1,3-biphosphate glycerate. Kat sini ada involvement of phosphoric acid and water molecules. There are 2 main events. Yang pertama, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is oxidized by coenzyme nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide ataupun NAD. Yang kedua, the molecule is phosphorylated by the addition of a free phosphate group. Enzyme yang terlibat, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. Okay, clear. This enzyme, it contains some appropriate structures. Remember, dia ada structure to hold the molecule in a such conformation that allows NAD molecule to pull a hydrogen off the G3P, thus converting NAD to form NADH. Okay, apa berlaku lepas tu? The phosphate group then attack the G3P molecule and releases it from the enzyme to yield 1,3-biphosphoglycerate. Pertama, ada NADH dan juga a hydrogen atom. Okay, step 7. In this step, 1,3-biphosphoglycerate is converted to 3-phosphoglycerate by the enzyme phosphoglycerate kinase. This reaction involves a loss of a phosphate group from the starting material, and then the phosphate is transferred to a molecules of ADP. Thus will yield our first molecule of ATP. Now, since we actually have 2 molecules kan, kita ada 2 molecule of 1,3-biphosphoglycerate. Remember, kita ada 2 3-carbon products from the stage of 1 of glycolysis. So we actually synthesize 2 molecules of ATP lah at this step. With this synthesis of ATP tadi, we have cancelled the first two molecules of ATP that we use yang awal-awal tu, leaving us with a net of 0 ATP molecules up to this stage of glycolysis. Again, kalau tengok kat sini, we can see an atom of magnesium is involved to shield the negative charges on the phosphate groups of the ATP molecules. Step 8. So this one involves a simple rearrangement of the position of the phosphate group daripada kedudukan karbon 3 kepada karbon kedua. and the enzyme involved is phosphoglycerate mutase. This mutase enzyme catalyzes the transfer of a functional group from position 3 to position 2. So what do you call it? Is it transferase enzyme or isomerase enzyme? Mana satu? Isomerase enzyme nama dia. Step 9, we have enolase. The function of this enzyme is to remove a molecule of water from 2-phosphoglycerate. Thus, it will form PEP ataupun phosphoenol pyruvate. So, kalau dia works by removing a water group or dehydrating it, so what do we call this enzyme? Kelas apa? Lyases. Step 10. Okay, this is the final step of glycolysis, which convert PEP into pyruvate with the help of enzyme pyruvate kinase. So the function of pyruvate kinase to transfer a phosphate group attached to the carbon 2 of PEP will be transferred to a molecule of ADP. Thus, kita akan dapat satu lagi ATP. Since, remember that there are 2 molecules of PEP, here we actually generate 2 ATP molecules. Immediately upon finishing glycolysis, the cell must continue respiration in either an aerobic or anaerobic direction. So, ikutlah keadaan pada sel tersebut. A cell that can perform aerobic respiration and which find itself in the presence of oxygen will continue for aerobic citric acid cycle lah dalam mitochondria tu. Kalau dia ada oxygen kan, presence of oxygen. If a cell able to perform aerobic respiration in a situation where there is no oxygen, contoh macam muscles under extreme exertion kan, so it will move into a type of anaerobic respiration called lactic fermentation tu. Cell macam contohnya yeast, they are unable to carry out aerobic respiration and will automatically move into a type of anaerobic respiration called alcoholic fermentation. Okay, that's all. Next will be gluconeogenesis. Okay, bye.